One.
This is T.
And this is MZ. And we're returning back with our guest, Joe. And we decided to take it a little lighter. We're going to talk about life in Dallas and the materialism and the pretentiousness that we see people living here. So what do you think about that? What y'all think about that?
You asking Joe?
Both.
Okay, go ahead, Joe. Let's get your views.
Just put it right back on me.
Sure did.
It stayed heavy around here. I thought this was like one of them fun, lighthearted little shows where we could talk about the fun stuff.
What's the fun stuff to you, Joe? Tell us.
I was about to say big booty.
Big booty.
So you want to
a lot of them.
So he want to talk about the girls with the big booty?
There's a lot of them.
You got to chill. My big booty sitting over in the chair behind
Exactly.
me. I ain't none of them problems, bro.
You don't have no problem.
Yeah, I ain't about to make one either.
So why you think Dallas is pretentious?
Dallas is crazy pretentious. You got to keep up with the Joneses.
Why?
But who are the Joneses?
Oh, the nigga over there that got more than you. I've been here, 13 years now?
Mm-hmm. You've been here 13 years?
Yeah, it happened fast.
Dang.
Yeah, I've been here 10.
I've been winning down here, though. I did all right.
And that is a great thing about Dallas. Black people can come here and really win.
When you from up north, you talk faster, think faster, move faster, do better. It's different down here. I say the whole time I've been here, I was kind of like doing the whole in-crowd thing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the club, we popping bottles, and I got her, and her.
Dancing on tables.
Yeah, I don't do none of that, baby. I don't do none of that no more. You feel me? I be at the crib. I like to cuddle. But I spend so much time in the streets and so much time in
money wasted, right?
Man.
And money wasted.
Unknown competition.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is.
It is.
I'm buying chains like I was in high school when I was
What's
just buying
unknown
fake ones.
competition?
It's a situation where you gotta have a better car and you don't know why. You know what it is? I'm gonna keep it. This is the realest thing I ever said in my life.
Okay.
And I said a lot of real tonight. It's daily competition like women.
Now explain
Details.
that. Explain that.
You ain't never got your hair nice like that for a man.
Ooh. You know, somebody said that to me the other day. They were like, I was dating this girl, and every time she would go out, we would take her friend. And he said, I finally came to the realization that every time she dressed up and made her hair right for this or that, she was doing it for her friend. She wasn't doing it for me.
That's why y'all do it.
That don't make sense, though.
Because you didn't
we get our hair done for what? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Y'all get your hair done to compete with other women. And it ain't for a man.
I disagree with that.
You don't think a man agrees to how we look? You don't think they care how we look?
not
So
why
we can
you-
come with you like all wild, outdoorsy,
That's
and
not
y'all
why-
be okay?
That's not why you get your lashes done, your eyebrows done, your
You
nails
think
done,
so?
your hair done. Not for
Why
us.
can't you get it done just because you want to look good? It's all about you. It ain't about necessarily another
So
woman.
you just proved 50% of my point, being as though it's not for men.
It's not, but it's not for another woman. It's not competing with another woman.
So let me tap your brain then. So you telling me that you get fabulous daily for you?
For me,
So what is the satisfaction that you get from that?
it builds me up.
Build you up for what?
It builds me up to make me feel good about myself. It's self-confidence.
So you have to get
Absolutely.
everything done for you to feel good about you.
Absolutely.
Sounds like some type of interior competition to me.
Well, maybe I battle with myself, but I don't battle with another woman.
But this is the thing, though. It's no such thing as only battling with yourself.
Well, then, therefore, I'm not battling with another woman
but
because
you're not battling
we're not.
for men.
Okay, so we were talking
No.
about pretentiousness. That's how we started
I
out.
thought we was doing our little debate thing right here. We was like, no, yes,
Y'all
no,
going-
yes.
Well,
Okay, so
let me see.
okay, so you think that women do that for each other?
Yeah.
Like I said, I talked to another guy that said the same thing.
And he said, you didn't get all dialed up to wiggle around and flirt with men. I know a lot of women that go out daily, all suited and booted, they best clothes on.
Right?
Ain't got two nickels in their pocket, but they all dressed up. And they really just want to look better than the woman standing next to them. And it ain't even for the man.
But I don't always agree with that because I think that women dress up to feel good about themselves as well as impress the man.
It's self-motivation.
So when you say good about yourself, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, let me give you
We
an
spoke
example.
earlier. Let me help you 1 second.
Ugh.
We spoke earlier about eyelashes, long straight hair. What is it? Puckered lips. Trying to be something that we are not. Because I'm sure under both those beautiful pieces of hair y'all have right now, it's something curly
But
and tight under
understand
there.
something.
I disagree with you on that. We do not have curly and tight hair up under these beautiful pieces that we
got the African from the motherland.
That's what I'm saying. Curly
Well,
and tight.
I don't have African from the motherland hair, and neither do you.
And y'all both got some Meek Mill braids up underneath there.
However,
No,
Hey, look, I done bought a lot of weave in my day, so I know what goes underneath there. That was the biggest surprise. I said,
okay, but understand something.
you got some Iverson braids under there.
Boo boo. Understand something about all of this that you see on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people go through things in their life that they're downhearted about, and they're trying to pull themselves up out of that. And if it means dressing up a certain way or wearing their hair a certain way or making themselves feel good when they walk past that mirror and like, damn, I'm fine. If that's what it takes to get them out the door to function every day, that's what we're doing.
That's interesting. Is that like
yeah, and then too for me, and I think it's from growing up in the hood because I'm not from Dallas, so I'm from Chicago.
Oh, for real?
So
Southside?
South Side.
Peoria?
So sad.
MCGD?
No,
Which one?
I don't even know what those are.
What's your set? Lies you tell.
I don't know what MC, whatever you said, MC something.
MC?
I don't know.
GD?
Well, yeah, I know that.
Vice?
I know GD and folks.
What's GD?
Throw your thing up. Let me
Gangsta
see.
Disciples.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, yeah. Don't wear your
But
hat
we
around.
were folks.
So you are a foe.
My family is
Who did
folks.
this conversation switch to gang life?
Well, it did, but that's my point. By us being raised inner city, in the hood, and things like that, because we know things are based off your demographics, you couldn't get certain things. So for us, if we wanted better, we dressed better, we looked better, and it made us feel better. So going back to the conversation you and MZ had earlier, we wanted access to what other people had. So they had an image of how we needed to look, and therefore we adapted to some of that.
Well, this is Dre real quick. I'm not trying to throw bombs in here.
Throw a bomb, Dre.
But-
Drop it.
But I am going to say this. Well, my man is saying Dallas is known nationwide as what you just said there.
Right.
Not saying it's right or wrong or applies to these young ladies here, but Dallas is known as being a pretentious place.
Wow, that's sad.
And the $30,000 millionaire lives in Dallas, because everybody's competing against everybody.
Yeah, I've heard it.
That's known. I lived in Houston for many, many years, and they all say that about Dallas women. Not saying that it's right or wrong, but that's the interpretation that people have of Dallas
Right.
females, that they all competing against each other.
Yeah, and I can even see some of that again with some other women. When we go out and we're doing Dallas and we're visiting different venues and things like that, you can definitely see the competition because you see this girl who have, you see this girl who have her Louis, this girl who have her Gucci, this girl who have on her red bottoms, and you see all of that, but you don't know if they robbed Paul to pay Peter. You don't know how they're getting all of this money and what they're doing, but they are competing with each other. And you can clearly see that. But I'm saying in regards to us, that's not what we're doing. We just live here.
Yeah, but wasn't the question about Dallas, not necessarily you guys? It was
Well-
about Dallas as a whole. So you recognize what Dallas is known for, though, right?
No, he said women. He said
The women in Dallas is known for.
I see it differently in that. Okay, I see Dallas is known for pretentiousness, but I see it more so in people look at you like, well, if you don't drive this kind of car or if you don't wear these kind of clothes, then you don't fit in these type of settings, and then they automatically disbar you from being part of this or that.
But doesn't that go to the full upkeep of women, like I was saying previously?
Well, I talked about cars, houses, communities.
Well, all of those things go
groups.
into it. Like, so my earlier years here, I dealt with some women in Dallas, and I couldn't believe the level of I'm better than everybody And how important it was.
Well, see, I guess
to
you guys
maintain
would get
that.
it from a different angle because we don't get it that way.
Well, Dre always talks about the
was
first time
we?
that he met me.
A woman. You said you met women that would say, you're not better. I don't know. I haven't had the experience that she's had. So I really don't know. So I really can't speak to it because I live within my own parameter. Whatever I can afford, I can afford. It's not about because I want this man to want me because I drive a Lexus or I drive
but you're not
a
from
Benz.
Dallas.
Exactly. So I'm saying
You're
I
a
haven't
different
seen
lifestyle.
it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Right.
So you've been living the suburban lifestyle the whole time you've been here?
Yeah.
It shows. I can tell.
So I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
So let me help you understand. When you be out in these streets,
Well, Tina. So the time you've been here, again, sorry to interrupt. So the time you've been here and you've been out or whatever, you haven't. Guys don't ask you about your credentials or
Absolutely not.
where you work, what you drive,
No.
none of that.
No.
You don't experience none of that.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't-
No guy has ever asked me that.
they ain't never ask you what you drive or nothing.
No. If they walk me to my car, they'll see what I drive. I don't understand why that question would even be valid.
Interesting.
Because of the pretentiousness here.
So a man walks up to you and say, "What type of car you driving?"
No.
You know what? I think we asked the question the wrong way. What women have asked what you drive?
I don't.
You ain't never met a chick and she asked you, or a woman. I'm sorry. Ooh. You ain't never met a woman that says, "So what kind of car you drive?"
No,
Have you ever met a woman that say,
honestly
"What kind
have
of car you
not.
drive?" And she say, and you tell them what you drive, and they say,
I honestly have not, and I'll say I have. I honestly have not met that woman or that man that asked that question.
"You know what? I want to apologize to you right now.
So
I feel like I'm accosting you about suburban life, and things are different up there." I feel like the conversation is right now is geared a little bit more towards the city life.
It might be. I don't know, but you've lived. So people actually ask you that,
well, I keep.
or
going,
is it that you just think?
No,
that
I
that's
keep
what
going
people-
back. I keep going back to a conversation that Dre had with me when I first met him and my perception.
Oh,
of
well, then that was you. Okay.
Yeah, so he thought at the time that I thought I was Sadiddy because I was more looking at what his income was and what kind of car he was driving based upon the conversations that I was having with
Shame
him.
on you.
However,
Shame on
my
you.
reason for doing that was strictly
It's never
professional.
a good reason.
It was strictly professional because I was trying at the time to see whether or not he qualified for what he was asking me to do.
That is pure BS, Marzetta.
What?
You knew what my salary was because I had to write it down, and until I pulled up in the horse, that's when your whole attitude changed.
However,
The horse changed your whole
but
attitude.
you must
Please let the
understand-
listeners know what the horse is.
The LS460. When you pull up in the horse, the LS460 has Scarface stop up. You heard Scarface. I drew up in the horse. She came running. So the horse made all the difference. That's Dallas style right there.
However,
Wait a minute, time out, Auntie. You ain't pulled down on him because he had a nice car, did you?
no, it was all in the business.
Damn. Damn.
It was all in a business transaction
Auntie, don't
because I
do
was
it.
trying to visually qualify
So
him.
she has been.
Yes,
she's
I
under
will
the
admit
Dallas
it.
umbrella.
I will
Hey,
admit it.
You
I
know,
will admit it.
But this is what's crazy.
What?
I stayed here all these years, and I didn't know that I was hypnotized by it too. I didn't know I needed to be at every spot. I didn't know I needed to. I didn't even understand that I was constantly upgrading my vehicles. You know when I realized it?
When?
Do you remember when I had that loft downtown?
Yeah.
Way before my lady now. I used to call that the Say Yes loft. Okay?
Right.
That thing was amazing. All right?
Yeah.
And I was paying money I did not have.
Ooh, it's a lot of money.
I'm paying money on that probably still today. It was like 5 years ago. But it was that moment I was like, I'm winning, okay?
Right.
I couldn't even afford that place.
You're blinded.
I couldn't afford it at all.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. It was worth it.
Why was it worth it?
Because it was a say yes law.
Man, them floor to ceiling windows, man. I'm trying to tell you, it was amazing. Okay,
But you can get caught up in it and get lost
absolutely.
and forget what's really important.
Man, look, I ain't got no food at the house, but I got enough money to buy a bottle.
Let me ask this question.
Let's get this bottle
So
with
since
the
you
club.
have that perception of Dre, so would you date a man with an older car?
Yeah.
would you let him drive you in the older car?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Lies.
The lies she tells.
Lies you tell.
No. No.
Man, I'm gonna keep it a
no.
bill.
No.
I talked to her today about the car she got now, and I'm like, "Well, you don't need all that car." She was like, "But I like Lexus."
The lies you tell.
Man, the way she said it to me was inappropriate. She was like, "They just ride so smooth."
She made love to it.
Man, I'm like, "You don't need that Lex truck, man." She was like,
Okay,
"But
so
I like it."
let's put it all in perspective.
Oh no.
No, really. I want to put it in
Trying
perspective.
to find some perspective.
And I don't want to share any of my personal business, but I have been at a point in my life where I lived a lot higher than I live now.
Fair.
Only thing I have left is the damn Lexus. So I would like to keep just a portion of
who you were.
who I was.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay?
You really can't never lose who you are.
No, I know.
And if you need somebody to remind you, I'll let you know who you are.
Okay, baby. Thank you.
I'll never let you fail.
But you know what's interesting to me, right?
What?
Tell me, brother.
Living in H-Town for 6-7 years, that there were people there who were security guards, drove old Altimas, had $200,000 in the bank. You would never know it.
Yeah.
You go out in Houston, you sit at the bar, some old white man or brother that got on sandals, shorts, and he's a millionaire. You don't
Right.
even know it.
He be wearing Jesus sandals?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's I like that about Houston because people there wasn't
They're
fake.
real.
They real. They
Dallas used to be like that.
So that's
But
more to the point of what your nephew is saying. You can't what are y'all talking about? How Dallas is very pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
So that will go to what your nephew is saying about the car. If you can't afford, I'm not saying you can't. So let me qualify that. If you can't afford to be in a Lexus, live within your means because
Right.
you can't. You are who you are. The car
Absolutely.
don't make you.
That's true. But you do become accustomed to living a certain
She's in
way.
Dallas, though.
What does
But you-
what
but you-
does where? So what? Dallas ain't gonna pay the bills.
She's a real estate agent.
So nobody says she has to have a Lexus. She can drive a nice car.
But
like Lexus,
you
though.
become accustomed.
Huh?
She
You like
Lexus.
what you like.
She done had a lot of Lexuses.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen
You like what you like.
She's seen a
Right, but we are talking about being pretentious, you know, and keeping up with the Joneses and all that other stuff. And a lot of times that hurt people.
Yeah, but being pretentious can go a long way versus just a car.
It's a lot of different things that factor into this society, like being pretentious. Like the whole Dallas area
It's
like,
pretentious.
I was so hypnotized. Like I said previously, I was buying bottles at the club. I had some ramen at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. I'm for real.
Oh, that's honest. That's honest.
But I was stunned when they came to see me. I was shining like a star. You see me standing on the couch. I got 2 bottles in my hand. Who? You, her, and them. For me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just glad I had some furniture at the house. But you get so deep into the life out here.
You do.
Trying to be
Right.
in the limelight, in the shine. I had to totally remove myself. I moved. I left. It's like, this is too much. I'm tripping.
So you have to make adjustments. You really do. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself, you know, bankrupt. Trying to keep up with that lifestyle.
It's really sad that everybody's measured by the material things that they own. And we get lost in that.
You talking about material things. All men are measured by materials. So is it not fair because women are also measured by their
I
material?
said measured. Yeah.
I said measured. I'm talking about
when
women
you-
and men.
Right. So like when you walk into a room, if you don't have on a certain type of dress or you're not wearing a certain type of shoes or you don't drive this certain type of car, then you don't belong in this group or you're shunned because of this or that. That's really sad.
It's part of life. In different areas of the world, it's a caste system.
Well,
you go to India,
he
like
was
if
saying,
you
go
weren't
to
born in the money,
Houston,
you can't get
doesn't
money.
matter. It does. It just depends on where you are. We're talking about Dallas.
well, maybe.
because it's so sparkly
'cause
here.
I wear my $10 shoes and I feel fine.
But your feet hurt.
No, my feet don't hurt. I mean, I'm fine. I don't feel just because I don't have on red bottoms that I can't step into a particular venue. I don't feel that way. So,
But do you have red bottoms?
No, I don't.
And do y'all think that it's something about self-confidence too? Because, like she said, she don't own those, but she feels fine walking into
I
a group
feel
of people
fine.
that have way more, or they're wearing those things, but she don't have to have it in order to feel like she's cool with herself.
Well, we talking about the person that was late today because they had to get their hair done.
Right. I'm not saying I don't like myself manicured. I'm saying that I don't have to have all the materialistic things that goes with the image of Dallas.
But do you have them?
No, I don't. What? I don't have any red bottoms.
What was that word I said earlier?
What?
Lies you do tell.
What do I have? What do I have?
I done been around you before. You drive a very nice vehicle and you stay in a very nice home, which is great. You deserve those things. But
I work for those things.
as you should, and we all do.
Right. So I'm saying, but what I'm saying to you is, if I shop in Nordstrom's today, I can shop in Walmart tomorrow and wear my Walmart outfit out somewhere and not feel cast out.
So you got Walmart clothes.
I do. I do. I have Walmart, I have Ross, I have all of them.
You got on a really silky shirt right now. And
Well,
nothing about it say.
And this is Kohl's.
Don't nothing about it say Walmart
It's not.
special.
It's not like upscale.
So you got some of that Chicago, Chi-Town still in you. Is that I'm trying to bail you out here. Is that Chi-Town that's still holding strong
I don't know,
there?
I guess. I don't know. I
That
don't
ain't
call it
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
You ain't assimilated yet to Dallas?
All my friends from Chi-Town be scamming, and they got Gucci, Louis, everything.
Now, I have a Louis, but I ain't scammed to get it, but I have it.
Well, I don't think you did.
But I'm just saying, I can go wherever I want to go and feel okay.
The funny thing is
Fair.
that you can go to places like Denver, San Francisco, Michigan, and people don't put as much emphasis on things as they do here.
Well, part
Yeah,
of Michigan,
part. Yeah, I believe that. Because
Yeah.
in Chicago, I mean, I'm not looking at because the clothes don't make the man. So I'm not even looking at his
No,
clothes.
I'm
you
not
don't.
buying that. I know too many people from Chicago. They
Well,
are
I'm-
pretentious as hell.
Well, I don't
I'm
know
talking
the circle.
about label whores.
I don't know the circle of people that you know.
It ain't even
And from
about it just a
Chicago.
circle. I could go up there with you and then I could point it to you. Now, sometimes you live in an area, you don't see it for what it is because you're
Right.
from there.
Right.
You've absorbed it. Like you can't see it.
Like
you
not
just
here.
said, you just said Michigan is not.
Right.
You been to Detroit lately?
Well, some parts.
I
mean,
never
it's in
met more.
different
I
parts
never
of
met bigger label whores than the ones in
well,
Detroit.
let me ask
Well,
this
you
question.
see, you
Is
see
it
the
more-
you see the poor people wearing the Jordans, and the rich people are just wearing some Champions.
But do
Well,
you
that's
think
crazy
it's
though, because that
But
goes what you
that-
said
but
previously.
that's what happened.
But do you
Yeah.
think it's in the major cities and like the smaller areas they're not as pretentious because they're like, okay, we're wearing flat tennis shoes and t-shirts and blue jeans but when you go to the big cities like Detroit, Dallas, Chicago, New York, they want all the designer stuff. Everybody competing with each other. When you go to the more laid back areas, it may not be that bad.
I don't think it's laid back. I think it's the showing of wealth. When you have real wealth, the need to show it is not important because you have it. You know what I'm saying?
That's very
and
true.
It's not.
That's very true.
The lack of wealth makes you want to show wealth.
But you don't really have it.
You don't have it at all.
Yeah, because I know I've worked around some people that really have money. I mean, lots of
Don't
money.
care.
Lots of money, and you would never know that they were rich.
I think Mark Cuban is an example of that, right? Mark Cuban dresses
hero.
t-shirt, jeans.
Right.
That's how he rolls,
They're
right?
satisfied. They're comfortable. They don't have to prove anything to anyone.
And to me, that's
because
more.
they got it all.
And again, I lived in Dallas, and when I moved, I mean, it was like day and night.
Yeah.
Houston was like everybody was casual, you know.
And here is
didn't
totally
give
different.
they didn't care how they dressed. They
You
go
to
out
the
looking
clubs
anywhere.
And the women be like
and-
hair
and-
everywhere.
Yeah, here,
heels,
like my man is saying,
rib-eye.
here it's
Yeah.
like, you know, if you ain't got it, you going over in the corner.
Yeah.
Stay at home.
Don't come out here if you ain't got it or can't flaunt it.
Right.
Well, it's time to shake up Dallas. Let's shake up Dallas.
What we're gonna do, girl? Let's get us some cowboy boots and
Why not?
And t-shirts and blue jeans and go
Film
to the
this.
club.
This you're gonna need a camera for.
Right.
So y'all about to wear cowboy boots and
Yeah.
the hat?
Or some tennis shoes, some Vans.
That's a fetish. Y'all need to chill.
What?
I'm not gonna wear. I'm not gonna wear cowboy boots.
How about some Vans?
But I'm gonna go buy me some Pro Wings.
We can go to the
Remember
dollar
Bro,
store.
look,
and buy
I'm gonna
some
keep it a
t-shirts.
bill. I'm gonna keep it a bill from 1994. I ain't wearing no Pro Wings.
I'm gonna buy me some Pro Wings.
Hey, we called them Ohio's. You got on them buddies.
But do you think
I don't know.
it's like an injustice to people that just move here from other states that that fall into this society and they see, dang, she driving Lexus, she driving Benz, she driving this, she live here, she live there, she wearing that, and I ain't got nothing. I'm sleeping in my car.
Then how do they move here?
It depends on where they from.
Right.
If you from up north, I feel like people from up north got a much higher drive than people.
But
in
they
the
do.
South.
They'll fight for it. Once they
Yeah.
see it and it's all available to them, they're going to fight to get it.
So in my younger days, you would catch me somewhere belligerently drunk, yelling, "I came here for all y'all bees and all y'all money." That was my phrase in public at all times.
I do remember that.
I meant it and I achieved it.
I remember that.
So you come down here, it's just like a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's so many things. I'm like, it's so many different ways to get some money.
So it's regional. It is regional.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because you meet the people from here. I don't even meet that many people from here anymore.
No, me either.
Yeah, they're from
I
someplace
meet
else.
more people not from here, but that's indicative of where we stay. If you spend more time up north, where the skin is more pale, you won't meet as many people from here. If you spend some time in the south, you'll meet a whole lot of folks from here.
Migration.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, isn't it funny how it all happens? It's happening like this now. Years ago, it was everybody migrating to the north, and now it's everybody migrating back to the south because this is where all the opportunities are. And up north, yeah, it's not as so much. Yeah, it's interesting. But Dallas is pretentious. We're known for big hair, big money.
Everything is bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Lies.
A lot of debt.
But
Right, you have bigger debt.
Yeah.
Hey, what you say earlier? $30,000 millionaire.
$30,000 millionaire.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
And
find out.
and that's funny that you said that because if you're coming from north and you make that type of money, you're doing pretty good here.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty good.
30,000,
Yeah, you can survive off of it.
you can.
Now that was 10 years ago, but that was
Yeah.
the label on Dallas, $30,000 million.
Right.
That was a while.
It's Dallas.
It ain't the same though. I'll say this: Dallas has changed since I've been here.
Oh man, it's changed drastically.
Housing market, they say
Everything.
Oh, they got good cost of living down there.
Not no more.
Yeah,
They
not
lie. They
anymore.
lying. They
Ain't no more.
lie. Who's listening to this? It's not cheap living down here anymore. Okay.
Ain't no more.
Except for Tina.
When I first moved down here in the 80s, I had a 2-bedroom apartment for $400 a month.
Wow.
$400 a month.
You know what's crazy?
What?
So when I moved here, you found me the apartment in Las Colinas.
Right?
It was nice, 3rd floor, vaulted ceilings. I was doing it. Look on this thing. I came from Ohio. I got some thing in Las Colinas. I was for the win.
How much?
That apartment was $675. That was so much more money than I ever paid for an apartment. You know how much that apartment is now?
$1,500.
$1,400.
Yeah.
Wow.
14 for that same apartment. It's nothing. They put a black face refrigerator in there.
Yeah. Well, it's everybody moving here from every place, and it is kind of at this point the land of opportunity because there's so many jobs, but it's not changing the face of people. Many times I've heard people say, I like living here. It's a good place to work, but it's not a good connection when it comes to meeting other people and making connections with love relationships or family. It's more so a working area and not a people connection area.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Not family oriented?
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I ain't buying that, man. I feel like you hear that from women that just wasn't successful at trying to attain that.
You hear what? What happened? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Everybody I know comes down here. They find somebody. They get married. They buy a house. It's close to the center of the city now. I mean, we live in way out in the suburbs, but folks buying
You
their
consider
house.
the suburbs?
Where here in Addison?
Addison.
Nah, this
Okay.
ain't suburb. This part of the city almost.
Right.
But I'm saying like a lot of people have found their little American dream here.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And that comes when you not hypnotized by the life.
Yeah, you got to focus it in a different direction.
I always said I never wanted to leave here because everything is here. Every kind of lifestyle you want to live is here.
That's very true.
It's country, suburb,
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can have a girlfriend in 6 different cities all around, right in the same area. That's not what I only want. I love you, baby. I don't need those problems.
We love you. Trina, where you at?
I'm just explaining what's possible here.
Right.
So if somebody listening and they want a good situation because they feel like a little gigolo, then this is where they need to be. But that's not what I want. I'm
gonna bail you out of that one, bro.
Appreciate you.
You know, I call it the triangle. You got Dallas, you got Austin, you got Houston. Each one has its own little flavor. But I agree that Dallas has a little, you know, something about Dallas that just
don't connect.
No, that does connect.
It does connect.
This is a good place to be. Yeah, it's a good place to be.
But it's not a good relationship, family built. This place, okay, when I moved here in the 80s, it had the highest divorce rate. It's still got a higher divorce rate at this point.
Because of what my man said, and what I'm saying is that because there's a lot of pretentiousness going on, and you out in the streets, and you meet somebody who got some more than what you got, so you going to creep on that and blah, blah, blah.
Always thinking you can find something better.
But it's still a good place to raise your kids. If I had to raise some children, it would be Dallas or Austin. It wouldn't be H-Town. But, you know, I love Houston. Houston got a lot of flavor to it that you may not want to expose your youngsters to.
Rough. It's like it's like Atlanta without all the colors.
Yeah.
Atlanta without all the colors.
Houston is Atlanta without the rainbow.
Yeah, Houston is a little rough. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to raise my kids there. But Plano schools, North Dallas schools, all great.
That's crazy, man.
You know?
I look at that.
Yeah.
It has like 2 or 3 of the top 10 school districts in the nation.
Right here.
Your kid going to high school in Plano, they got laptops in there.
Yeah.
Public school.
Yeah.
This ain't private. This is a public school.
Right.
The schools, you ain't got to have your head on a swivel here. In Houston, your head's on a swivel. You know what I mean by that, bro.
You're looking over your shoulder.
You got to be on a swivel because you don't know what's coming. Yeah. Come
Houston
on, man.
a little rough around the edge.
Yeah, you got to be on a swivel.
Okay.
You got to be on a swivel. You got to know what your surroundings and what's going on around you. Kind of like Chi-Town.
What about
maybe not
in
as bad.
Sugarland and in a suburb?
Oh, great suburbs. Great suburbs, but you still got to be on a little bit of a swivel. You know what I'm saying? Here, folks ain't got to worry about crime too much. Not as much as I mean, it's here, but it's not like the same as Houston.
Okay.
Houston, I love Houston. I love it.
Right.
Love the culture. The culture there is awesome.
Right.
You can't beat Dallas. Don't have no culture. It's all fakeness.
We're going back to that original word that we started out at about 7:30. Culture, which we supposedly don't have any of, according to.
I'm so tired of being Farrakhan today. I feel like y'all not really trying to be woke. I've been doing my best trying to help y'all understand.
You
but
said
y'all,
we don't have no culture.
Man, y'all lost and not found.
Well, we're going to work on that. We're going to create some culture.
I ain't going to give up on y'all.
We're going to give a workshop to these Dallas women about competing with one another.
Right.
We're going to do a lot.
You know, crazy part, I know a lot of Dallas women that are doing huge workshops and working together. But that's the crazy part right there, like, because that drive me back into us black folks and black women raised a certain way and black men not raised at all because a woman is raising them. You know, the crazy part is
we ain't talking about that.
Black women are, what is it, the highest graduating class, the highest group of people graduating from college with bachelor's and master's degrees. Mm-hmm. So
that's correct.
What type of a gap does that create in marriage? Like, if you have to marry, like, because the black men are not following, black men, white men, Mexican men, no other men are following the rate of graduation and success that black women are having right now.
Makes it very hard.
It makes it hard for the black woman, but but I think some black women have come to realize that we know that there is that type of gap. We know that we are now the breadwinners or making more than our black man for various different reasons. And some women, at least some that I know, they're willing, depending on the man, they're willing to make the necessary adjustments to be with that man. So whatever that look like, whatever it is, that's what it is.
You know, for many years, though,
yeah, because there are going to have to be adjustments because you got that man that may think that woman, because she has more, he may not want to be with her because she has more, because you got that man to have a problem with the income difference. Mm-hmm. So if you can get that man that can actually accept what you have without feeling intimidated, then you might can work with that man.
So this is something that's been on TV a lot here lately. This whole scenario, women having more than men. So we talked about Christianity. In these situations, is the man still the head of the household?
In my household, he would be.
So if the woman makes more money than the man, she don't wear the pants in the house. She don't tell what's going on.
She shouldn't.
She shouldn't.
How?
The money shouldn't necessarily dictate. Well, it shouldn't dictate at all who's going to be the man in the house.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But shouldn't is just a word. The reality is, money is power.
Money is power.
Regardless of gender, regardless of person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make, let's say y'all make $250,000, $300,000 a year, and you can even say the man make $100,000. He's doing well off himself.
He is.
If you make that much money and y'all got to make a decision on where to go on vacation, where y'all going? Where you want to go or where he want to go?
Where he want to go.
Lies.
No, I disagree.
Lies, because it's the reality. Here, you can disagree. And like I said, these are all debates, and I love it. But the reality is, if you're a single woman and you attain this much on your own, nobody can tell you what to do, especially somebody that doesn't have the financial power that you have. But then
that would go back to our conversation a couple weeks ago about how a black woman or a woman don't build up her man.
So y'all should have had me here for that.
Because if what you're saying is true and we go along with what you're saying, then that will be a woman tearing that man down.
It's a lot of black women tearing black men down.
Yeah, so we heard.
A lot. I mean, it's more than just heard. It's a fact.
Yeah,
reality.
we heard.
Yeah, last week we had a talk.
It was
yeah.
Didn't know it was that many women, doing that, but that's what we heard.
But Joe brought out a good point earlier when I brought that subject up about back in slavery. Remember how, and you brought it forward.
Okay, so let me bring it forward again. Okay. So when you look at a man and a woman, a man is supposed to protect the woman, provide, lead the family. That was stripped from us from the beginning. So when we got here as black men, we were sexually broke by white men. I mean, we were raped by men. But what is it, buck busters or something like that? They broke them in. Mm-hmm. So we were embarrassed,
stripped,
demoralized, emasculated.
Mm-hmm.
We were not able to provide and or protect the women. They made sure of that. They psychologically did us all in. So they started there with women understanding, and black women. I said earlier today, we all got PTSD from our ancestors. Mm-hmm. They started then breaking us and breaking women to understand that the black man can't protect you, he can't provide, he can't do nothing. No matter how strong we are, these views of us, they reign on today. And we get so much backlash of niggas ain't shit. Well, a lot of black women ain't shit either. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me bashing the whole group of them. But social media, internet, instant information about everything, jealousy amongst other people online, competition, it's damned us.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that.
I said previously, white folks have broken up the black family a long time ago.
It started way back in slavery time.
Y'all can't even get assistance without removing the man from the home.
That's true.
He brought that up, and I told him, I said, that's like old. It didn't just happen today. That's been going on for a long time.
Right.
So forever, if the assistance, the savior, the white man, the government helps you raise a child or whatever it may be,
you got to get the man out the house.
He got to go.
Yeah, or you got to say he's gone. I mean, and I remember that growing up because my mom was married, and even though they couldn't make ends meet on everything, assistance was needed. Absolutely. But in order for her to even get food stamps, she had to say that she wasn't even with her husband, just to get the help. And that's how, for lack of a better term, it came out for black people. You got to do what you got. You got to get around the system some kind of way.
And okay, so you get around it, but the reality is you conform to it. Mm-hmm. We get broke. Absolutely. You put the man out. I can't
No,
live.
you ain't put the man. I just told a lie.
Now, sometimes they lie, but the reality is they built the process so that you put the man out. And you ain't going to sacrifice all that assistance for the man. So if it come down to they got to get here and you here, you got to go. He left every time until he was gone for good. Okay? And that's the way they wanted it. So the black family been broke a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree with that. We all agree with that. It happened way back.
So we moved to today,
existence.
and what we just talked about earlier, we just spoke on this. Black women are going to college, graduating. You want to know why that's happening? This is my theory.
Because they're still trying to keep a black man down.
Not necessarily. They do all of that and then keep the black man down, but they're taught that. A lot of us are raised by single mothers. Mm-hmm. What did our mama teach you? Mothers that are single are hard on their daughters.
They are.
They teach them to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You
So we won't be like them.
So you don't need no man.
Yep.
Regardless of how many men are coming through that house.
Yep.
You don't need no man. You take care of yourself. That little black girl take what her mama tell her and she go take care of herself. She go fight hard, go to school, even if she have a kid. She keep pushing because she was taught not only what it is. Matter of fact, let me put it a different way. She wasn't taught what it was to be a wife. She was taught what it was to take care of yourself, which is more in line with being a man. She taught to take care of herself. She spent no time learning how to do all the supposed old school wife things. Cook, clean, do these things for a man. She didn't taught anything, do anything for a man. She just taught men ain't shit. But then, on the crazy opposite side.
But that don't only come from single moms, though. Because
very true. I'm overgeneralizing.
Right, because I raised my kids with, both parents were in the house, but I will tell my daughters, don't depend on a man.
Fair, but if you don't also teach your daughter, one day you'll be a wife and you are deserving of being a wife and a man being in your life, not necessarily just to take care of you, but you are more than worthy to be completed in God's eyes. If we all want to,
you're true. That's true, but I'm going along with what you said. Because my mom said to me, you don't need a man. Fair. Even though I have a husband, I'm still repeating that same statement to my children, my daughters. You don't need a man. Go work for yourself. So, I have one that's a nurse. She don't, and I've said it to her.
But so how much satisfaction do you get from your marriage?
Well, when I was married, I got some satisfaction.
But there's a completion to that, right?
It is.
It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. If you teach somebody that they don't need something, if you don't need something that's a part of a completion, then you'll never go get that completion.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so if you want that person to go get married at some point, the message should be a little different. So it's so many.
It should have. I'm saying when you don't know, you don't know. But of course, as I got older, I learned better. But I do remember when my daughters were small, I fed that to them.
Absolutely. I don't judge any women for providing that message. They trying to teach their daughters how to take care of themselves in a situation that they're taking care of their children by themselves. Mm-hmm. But the problem in here lies. What are the young men being taught? If there's a situation and the man's not around, it's just the mother taking care of this young man. What is his lesson? Or is there a lesson?
I don't know what his lesson is.
Because from my position, and I've seen several men like this, it's not to be a man. It ends up being what women are normally taught. Women have a lack of accountability. Most time, daddy in the home, daughter can do no wrong. Lack of accountability. That's why you see women trying to run dudes over with cars and stuff. Like, I ain't do nothing wrong. You did do something wrong. Ran somebody with a car is felony murder. All right? But they really believe nothing wrong because that's the mindset. You raised that way. You didn't do anything wrong. That's how you raise a woman, a young girl. Men are held fully accountable, young men, boys, for all their actions. That's how you're taught to be a man. Because the reality, as a black man, you're going to be held accountable for everything.
Well, every man is supposed to be a leader and supposed to be the guide of a woman. If you go back to what white Jesus said.
Forget that white Jesus.
Yeah, forget no more white Jesus. No more white Jesus.
Let's just say somebody what you teach a boy. Mm-hmm. What are the boys being taught? They are now given the no accountability rule like the girls used to. Nobody's holding young men accountable. They're allowed to do whatever they want. Some mama running behind them, feeling bad because their daddy not around. Let them do whatever.
That's not true for everybody, though.
It's a huge majority of young men being raised by women.
Oh, it is.
And how are they raising them?
It depends on the woman.
You just left. You didn't even hear what I said previously.
No, okay? I didn't. I'm sorry.
You don't care.
Can you give me a synopsis?
Women are raising young girls rough and being light on young men. Single mothers.
Okay. Well, I was a single mom. I was rough on my son.
Were you?
I made him very aware of what it was like going to be like to be a black man.
Did you?
I did.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I like my cousin. You feel me? I'm just saying.
He knows. I was single before I was married, and that's what I taught him. I kept his head in the books.
But how old
That
was
ain't
he?
necessarily
How
fair,
old was he when you got married?
8.
Yeah, it was a whole,
Then you didn't raise you wasn't a single mom raising a black boy.
It was a whole
Well,
man.
I did to that point.
To that point.
Yeah,
Even after that, I made sure he read lots of books on growing up as a black man.
Yeah, but he had a male figure.
Yes.
He did.
Yes, an in-house male
in-home
figure.
male figure. That's a
in-house.
big difference.
I can't. Me and my pops ain't real cool, but the reality is, I watched a lot of man stuff.
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
able to model.
Yeah, and he did. He
things.
had that.
Right.
He had that.
Right.
So he's
Now
not
look
in the hands of a true single mom.
No.
Yes. Now look at a young man with no model. So we imitate as children. Mm-hmm. I watch my son now. He does things how I do. Right next to me.
Right, as he should.
I cry right now when he do something like me. I say a word, he try to say it. Ain't even close, but he try to do it like me.
That's cool. That's
you see
all
my
good.
left hand go up, his left hand go up. Or
Right.
I watch him do it how
That's
I
what
normally
he's supposed to do.
But if it ain't one there, if it's nothing there
Problem.
to imitate, you imitate
What's
the
there?
woman, or you try to find something.
That's
Now,
why
if your internal lessons are that of what it used to be for women, where you can't do no wrong because she feel bad, she protect. That's like these women. My son, my king. My son's my king. That's a little boy.
No, I've heard
He
that.
ain't nobody king.
I've heard
That's
that.
that's a small thing that needs to be raised. That's but a thing that needs to be molded and created.
Absolutely.
But somehow at 7, 8 years old, he the king of the house.
Yeah. I even know a few moms that have one is named her son Messiah.
But do you? She need to get popped in the back of the head. Do you know how useless you will be when you believe at 7 or 8 years old that you the king of a house for no damn reason?
But think about it. Okay, if we go back to the Bible times, there were kings that were 7 and 8 years old. There were kings that were 7 and 8 years old under a different society, but yet they still were kings.
What they got to do with the price of tea in China?
Because it can be a knowledge that is brought forth for them. They can be taught that.
Young man.
Yes,
I think we're
those
talking
kings
about
were
something
emperors.
different.
Those kings were emperors and born into those positions, and
Yes, they were.
and they did a terrible job because they were young boys. So, to the original point,
Now you're gonna bring up King Josiah.
young boys that are king of households with a grown woman in there telling him that, what can he become from that position?
Hopefully
You think
king.
know
He's
what?
gonna be a mama's boy, and he's gonna be a menace to society, and he's gonna be messed up.
And he can never understand why people are so hard on him.
Exactly, because he can't do any wrong.
Boom.
wow.
It's almost like an epidemic.
It is.
Yeah, it is an epidemic.
So we reverse the roles. The women are like the men, and the young boys are like the women now. They have nobody around providing substance for them. Sometimes there's no man there. They don't know. I said my daddy.
Goes back to the like we were talking about. There's no leaders anymore in the world. Like we had, our generation had Martin Luther King. We had Malcolm X. We had those strong leaders coming up. We don't have that now for our kids.
Man, we are a strictly capitalistic society, and we care about ourselves.
Exactly.
How can I get some money?
Yep.
How can I do better? Which these are not bad goals, but it becomes bad and terrible when we don't include each other and we don't build each other up.
Right.
We still crabs in a barrel,
Yeah, we are in a lot of ways.
and it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. I have conversation with brothers, and they're like, "Man, I just want to build my brother up. I want to try," and it's a refreshing conversation because it's so rare.
Yeah.
I watch people do just for themselves.
Yeah.
So like we said previously, these young ladies are in school. They got all these degrees. They got all this money. They doing good for themselves now, but they're still lacking the key
What a
trait.
man.
They lacking a man, but they lacking the skill. They also lacking the skills to keep a man and or even
Yeah.
have one. They was never even taught to get one. There ain't nothing about that important. we stop having brown babies, ain't no more brown people.
Well, that's what I meant about a caramel society. You laughed at me.
Well, caramel is brown, so we ain't having them.
We still win.
Okay, well, we're going to cut it short now with taking a break for the T and MZ show. And we'll be back.